Having a major update when you have to look at the BCCI selection and the communication that is going to go on for the India versus South Africa, not just for the India South Africa series, but basically for the blueprint for the India's preparation for the 2027 World Cup. Now, several reports are coming around that after that during the Raipur ODI that's going to take place in on Wednesday, the BCCI are apparently going to have a big meeting, and that meeting will ensure two things. One, there will be a roadmap and a streamlining of the communication between the key stakeholders that is there. So that is going to take place in Raipur on Wednesday. That's the venue for the second ODI that will take place between India and South Africa that is going to take place. Now, in that meeting, there will be the BCCI honchos, the big players will be there, and there'll also be Gautam Gambhir, there will also be Ajit Agarkar, and the agenda will mostly be on two major things. One, it is going to ensure that okay, there is alignment between the selectors and the team management to maintain selection consistency, individual development pathways, and overall team performances. So selection consistency. Now, whether this template that Gautam Gambhir and the current management are going to have, is that going to be discussed upon, and whether you'll have to revisit that template and that blueprint, that is the one thing that the BCCI are going to dwell upon at this point in time in this meeting that's going to take place. Initially, it was believed that the meeting will take place in Ahmedabad, but now it's not going to happen in Ahmedabad. It is going to happen on the sidelines of the second ODI that will happen in Raipur on Wednesday. So, overall team performance. Now, the overall team performance bit is related to the test match situation, because in tests, India have lost 5 out of 7 games, and 2 series whitewashes at home has resulted in a major issue which is there. So this is the one thing that has happened, and you have to ensure now that you salvage your WTC in more ways than one. So the race to the finals, you want to salvage some part of it, and that's why that is going to be one more thing that's going to happen. And alignment between selectors and team management to maintain selection consistency. Now, selection has to be there, whether there'll be the need for specialists, whether you need all rounders, do you have to revisit that particular thing? That is going to be there. And then there is the communication gap that is there between management and senior players. Now, this management that is going to be there, and what are the communication things? How crystal clear are you going to give the message to senior players in the team heading into the 2027 World Cup? Now, Rohit and Virat, there has been continuous rumors. Will they play? Will they not play? Will they be forced to go into the domestic system? Once the ODI series is done against South Africa, do they have to go through that? What is the message that they're going to give? That is one. Second, what is Rohit and Virat? What are their contributions for the World Cup? And how do you see them in the build up to the World Cup? Because they're only going to play one format. What do you want to do with them? That is the one thing which is there. So, basically, at this point in time, there has been no mention that these guys also will be involved in this. But if you want to improve the communication that is there between the BCCI and the senior players will include Rohit and Virat. So that is why this is also going to be on the agenda. The communication has to be clear. How do you see Rohit and Virat build themselves for the World Cup? And how do you see them in the long-term vision of 2027? If not, then you have to prepare for that as well. So this is the two key points that's going to be highlighted in this particular thing about the selection, and whether the communication for with the senior players is going to be active heading into the 2027 World Cup. Remember, they have to give that particular signal that yes, you are going to play the 2027 World Cup. Give them the assurance now, or don't give them the assurance this thing. So that is why this is a big situation that's developing. In Raipur now, you're going to see this particular meeting churn out, and you're going to see some major issues that's going to be there. So yes, selection and communication. These are the two major things. And to improve the performances in the test match arena, these are the three basic things that everybody is going to do it at this stage. So the BCCI meeting is scheduled to be held. These are reports that is there on December 3rd in Raipur, the venue for the second ODI between India and South Africa. On the sidelines of it, these three agendas will be discussed in that meeting. And one of the comments are saying major agenda should be to discuss test cricket downfall, need to play specialists. That is one of the major things which they're going to highlight at this stage. So that is the one thing that we are going to give you at this stage. that this is on the agenda. Let's see how that pans out from now. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.